never knew how to tell you.
I would be able to talk about my life.
I ever loved a lot.
I have two moms.
You want me to say it out loud?
For a long time, yeah, I thought, like, what's wrong with me? Why am I like this? Why am I messed up? But this is just, like, who I am as a person. Believe me, if I could have changed it, I would have, but it's not going away. It's just who I am. Ever since I was 13, that's when I started like dressing up and doing stuff. I don't know why I was compelled to do it, but I just went into I went and tried my mom's like makeup on, and then that led to like trying on clothes and dressing up. I did that for like 5 years like in secrecy and like didn't tell anybody about it. Then finally I told my girlfriend when I was 18, called her up bawling on the phone. She was just like, what's wrong, you know. For all that time, like I was in kind of denial about it. Like I didn't even register it as a part of myself. If somebody had asked me, I would have just been like, I don't know what you're talking about. It was still something I was like really like kind of ashamed about and like afraid of, I guess.
Totally forgot to make marks to make sure it lines up.
I tried going to therapy. I didn't have the money to like keep going, so I only went to one time and then I had to stop going. But then it was like I slowly started coming into acceptance about it and realizing that like I was actually transsexual and like that there was a term for it. I kept dressing up and like I told some more and more like close friends, and like would occasionally go out. Around that time I came out to like my parents. My dad was like, he didn't really know what to think. And I remember my mom, she was like, are you gay? Are you sure you're just not gay? And I was like, no, I'm sure. I realized at some point that this was something that wasn't going to go away. Like, I'd lived half my life wishing I'd been a girl, so I might as well try and do something about it. So I started going back to therapy, and my therapist approved me for hormones. I gradually, like, kept increasing the doses, and eventually I had to come out and retell my parents and my family. My brother thought I was joking at first. A lot of people kind of thought I was, like, trying to pull some prank or something. They were like, oh, we thought that would kind of stop for you, and I was like, no, I just never talked about it. I had to come out to work. There was like the initial shock, and then everybody's been pretty good about it. The middle changes have definitely been harder. Getting your hair cut and putting on makeup and wearing different clothes. I was very nervous about it at first, but the harder thing has been like trying to like switch my mind over to like constantly thinking of myself as a female. That's something I still kind of struggle with. The people who knew me before, I think it's been a lot harder for them because they saw me as a male. It just takes a lot of time. I'm like my toughest critic with like the whole passing thing, but like getting past that and like learning to let, you know, be happy with how I look. It's really difficult, but I'm getting there. I really do enjoy like getting ready and like getting made up and stuff. It sucks having to get up earlier and not just like roll out of bed and like throw some clothes on and like go, which I'm getting better at doing. Like when I first started doing it, it took me like an hour and a half to get ready, but like now I tone that down to like a half hour. I would say I'm still like definitely more attracted to girls. I met Maria in 2004. Like, she was really very, very accepting of it. It's brought us a lot closer together because I can definitely understand her more, like, emotionally. You know, now I can be a lot more, like, sympathetic and nurturing and give her what she needs. I guess, like, my basic personality hasn't changed. Like, the things that I'm into and how I view the world and, like, my beliefs and things like that are still the same, but I guess they've also become a little bit more adapted to, like, have a more feminine perspective. It's hard for me to remember now, like, at this point, but just, like, how unhappy I was before and, like, how much anxiety I had. Like, now I don't have to worry about that stuff. Like, I can just be me regardless if that's, like, really, really feminine or, like, even a little bit masculine. Like, I can just be who I am and I don't have to feel like I'm faking something or keeping this big, huge secret from everybody. Now it's like I don't really have anything to hide anymore. So I would just say that if you feel like you have to do it, like, you should do it. And you can't worry about, like, what other people think. You gotta do, like, what makes you happy.